is Andrew Craig, Olympian newspaper of Grass Valley High School. I'm here with Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis at the Capitol in Sacramento. Thanks for being with us, Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
First, what might you hope to achieve in the next 4 years?
Well, the Lieutenant Governor's office isn't widely known for the work that it does, but I believe that it's very focused and should be very focused on public higher education, because as Lieutenant Governor, I have a seat on the board of the UC Regents and the CSU Board of Trustees, and public higher education is critical in California. My own grandmother never learned to read or write, and my father went to CSU in Sacramento, and it changed the trajectory of his life and frankly mine as well. So public higher education is a big part of the job. So is environmental protection. I'm the chair of the State Lands Commission. We have about 3,000 acres of land directly under the jurisdiction of state lands. Largely, it's land underwater, but we deal with the interface between the edges of the rivers and the seashore up to 3 miles offshore. So stopping expanded offshore drilling is part of my portfolio. And then other things that you might not imagine, like the decommissioning of nuclear power plants here in our state. So public higher education, environmental issues, and as I always say, everybody who is elected statewide really needs to be looking at economic issues. Many families still have not recovered from the recession of 2008. So as we support and build and fuel our economy, we have to make sure it's working better for all Californians.
Can you tell me about your favorite experience in journalism?
Well, thank you so much for asking. That's right. As we were talking about earlier, I worked on my high school newspaper, and then when I was in college, I was an editor of my college newspaper. And there were a lot of really important things that we did. I went to a college that had quite a bit of controversy over issues related to divestment at the time in Africa, in South Africa. But I will tell you, probably my most pleasant experience was when the college bell had stopped ringing. And I had to go and find out why. And as it turned out, the guy who was in charge of ringing the bell had a bad relationship breakup, and so he just couldn't get around to going to ring it. But it was pretty soon rectified, and our little piece of investigative journalism made sure that the bells were ringing back on schedule pretty soon after the story ran.
So as Lieutenant Governor, how would you describe your relationship with Governor Newsom?
You know, Andrew, I've known him for a long time, and I think that it's really, in some ways, just good fortune, because the relationship between the governor and the lieutenant governor really should be a good working relationship. I think that's what voters, taxpayers, Californians would want to see. And so it's great to have known him for several decades now and supported him in his work. And so having a good working relationship just makes it that much more likely that together and with the rest of the elected officials here in Sacramento and all of the hardworking people in this administration, that will really be able to respond to the needs of the people of our beautiful Golden State.
Do you ever see yourself running for governor in the long term?
You know, I feel so lucky to be here in this job. I'd never run for office before, so to launch a statewide campaign and being elected, I'm still in the phase where I'm pinching myself, get up every day excited to roll up my sleeves and do the work that this job has. So I really can't think beyond that. And again, I don't think that's why people voted for me. The idea here is that it's an important job, and I'm very enthusiastic about getting to work.
Do you have any other comments you'd like to say?
No, just other than that, I was the United States ambassador to Hungary in Central Europe. And the work that you and your colleagues here from your newspaper are doing, and your media work, it's incredibly important, because we are living at a time where there's a transition in how the free press is working in our state. And the ability to have high quality, verifiable, true information get to our communities, it's essential for a healthy democracy. So in this time of transition, voices like yours, student voices, doing the work that you're doing with the really time-tested elements of good journalism, Andrew, it's more important than ever.
Thank you for your time, Lieutenant Governor. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.